Right. Deep divers. Ready for another deep dive with us? We're going all in on one-hit wonders this time.
One-hit wonders.
You know, those artists who gave us that one song that we just can't get out of our heads even after, like, decades, you know what I mean?
Oh, I know exactly what you mean. Those earworms that just never fade away.
Exactly, exactly. And we're going to be figuring out what happened to them after they had their moment in the sun. You know, like what did they do? Did they keep making music or did they just totally disappear?
Yeah, did they reinvent themselves? I mean, there's so many possibilities. That's what we're going to be looking at today. We got a draft podcast script all about one-hit wonders.
Oh,
So,
perfect, perfect. Okay, so this script defines a one-hit wonder as somebody with a chart topper that really, really stands the test of time. And it often, like, defines an entire era.
right, right.
I'm curious, does that mean that they only ever made one good song? Or, what's the deal with that?
I think that's where it gets really interesting,
Mm.
because just because they had one hit, one massive hit, doesn't necessarily mean they weren't talented or they had like a short career. It's more about how their music connected with people at that moment in time.
Mhm.
Sometimes it's the song itself, sometimes it's what was happening culturally at that time or the look, the vibe. I don't know, something just clicks.
Right, right. Kind of like capturing lightning in a bottle or something,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, exactly.
The script very smartly breaks it down by decade, which I think is a great way to do it. And it starts with the 1980s, which, oh, I love the 80s. And first up is Tony Basil, who pretty much owned 1982 with Oh, Mickey. But here's the thing. She wasn't just some nobody who just suddenly appeared out of nowhere.
Right, right, exactly. She was already like a super successful choreographer before Mickey. Like she worked with legends, David Bowie, Tina Turner.
Oh, wow.
I mean, think about those iconic Bowie performances. She was part of creating that, which is insane.
Wow, so she already had a really strong understanding of movement and visual impact, I guess. Do you think that's part of the reason why Mickey was so successful?
Yeah.
Because that video, oh my gosh, is just pure energy.
Oh, absolutely. The choreography, the cheerleading moves, it tapped into like the whole fitness craze that was happening in the early 80s, that
Yeah.
kind of playful, over-the-top performance style. It was brilliant.
Yeah, yeah, it really was. And it makes you wonder, like, did she do that on purpose? Did she know, okay, I'm going to make a dance anthem. This is my thing. I'm really good at this. Or was it just a total fluke?
Right, right.
Who knows? But either way, pretty smart move. Okay, sticking with the 80s, we got to talk about A Flock of Seagulls.
Oh,
I
yeah.
ran so far away. Those hairstyles, it just screams 1982, doesn't it?
Oh, it's iconic, both sonically and visually.
So iconic.
But get this, they're still touring.
Are you serious?
I know, right? Still playing for dedicated fans, even though they haven't had a big hit in, well, decades.
Wow. That's got to take some serious dedication. I mean, both from the band and the fans.
Oh, for sure.
It makes you realize how powerful nostalgia is when it comes to music. For those who were teenagers back then, when that song came out, hearing it is just like a direct line back to their youth.
Totally.
And for some bands, that connection with the fans is enough to keep them going, even if they aren't, filling up stadiums anymore.
Yeah, and it makes you rethink what success even means in the music industry. Is it all about like chart positions and awards? Or is it about finding your audience, your people, and creating for them?
That's a great point, yeah.
A Flock of Seagulls definitely found their lane, and it seems to be working for them.
Yeah, for sure. Now we're getting to the good stuff. All right, we've had enough 80s synth for now. Let's jump to the 1990s. And oh boy, do we have a rebellious bunch coming up. And we're going to start with Chumbawamba.
Oh,
You know what's coming, right?
yeah.
Tub thumping. Admit it. You're singing it in your head right now.
It's impossible not to. It's like the ultimate anthem of resilience, and it's just so catchy.
Oh, so kicky. But what's fascinating is that after Tub Thumping just blew up globally,
Mhm.
they didn't try to just chase more fame.
No, they didn't, which is really interesting. The script says they actually like doubled down on their political activism through their music.
Wow, so they had this massive, massive commercial success. But it sounds like that wasn't their ultimate goal.
Right.
That's a pretty bold move, especially when, the industry machine is telling you to just churn out more hits.
Oh yeah. There's definitely a lot of pressure to conform and just follow the formula, but they didn't, and it really shows you their integrity, and their commitment to their values.
Yeah, their later music might not have topped the charts, but it definitely resonated with fans who share their views, I'm sure.
Absolutely.
So success for them wasn't about album sales. It was about making a difference, making a statement.
Right, and having an impact.
Yeah, pretty cool. Now, this next one might spark some debate. Are Hanson a true one-hit wonder?
Ooh.
Because Bop, I mean, that was everywhere in 97. But they did have other songs that did, okay.
Yeah, that's fair. I think it's definitely debatable. But Bop, I mean, the sheer magnitude of that song is undeniable. It
Yeah.
was just, it was everywhere.
It really was. It was like it transcended age groups, continents, musical genres.
Oh, yeah.
It was just everywhere. And the thing is, they never stopped making music.
That's right.
And they even run their own label now. Like they turned a massive, massive hit into this sustainable career, even if it's not on the same, gigantic scale as Bop.
And I think that's another example of how artists can, adapt and evolve in this industry. They built this loyal following. They're in control of their creative output, and they're still going strong.
Yeah, that's longevity right there.
Exactly.
Okay, are you ready to jump into the wild, wild world of the 2000s and beyond?
Let's do it. I'm ready.
Because things get really, really interesting.
The digital age, I mean, it brought a whole new wave of one-hit wonders, and I'm really curious to see how this script unpacks their stories. It's a whole different game.
It is. It really is. And it's going to be fun to kind of unpack it.
Oh, yeah, for sure. The 2000s, huh? Man, the internet was just taking off.
Yeah, a whole new world.
That's when we started seeing like a totally new kind of one-hit wonder artists who went viral. Well, before going viral was even, a thing.
Ooh, that's a good point. I hadn't thought about it like that. Yeah, I bet that really like changed the game for the music industry.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Speaking of changing the game, the script mentions Daniel Powter, Bad Day. Oh my gosh, that song was everywhere in 2005. Did you ever watch American Idol?
Oh, of course.
Because I swear, every heartbroken contestant was singing that song on their way out.
Oh, I know, right? Those dramatic exits with Bad Day playing in the background, it was like a formula.
It was. It totally was. But what's interesting is that the song, it kind of went beyond that whole, reality TV moment. It became like an anthem for, well, just having a bad day, which, let's be honest, we've all been there.
We all have those days, right?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, exactly. And it turns out Powder himself he's been pretty open about his own, struggles with mental health.
Oh, really?
Yeah, the script mentions how he's talked about the pressure of fame and how he found peace through creating music, but like on his own terms.
Makes you think, huh? Like fame doesn't always equal happiness.
No, not at all. Sometimes it's, it's more about following your passion and connecting with fans in a real way, rather than just chasing, mega stardom.
I totally agree. Yeah.
Okay, ready for another musical blast from the past?
Always.
This one's got this kind of haunting quality to it, Gotti, somebody that I used to know, the duet with Kimbra. I mean, that just exploded in 2011.
Oh, yeah, I remember that. It was everywhere. That melody, the lyrics, even the video with that stop motion animation. It was just so unique and memorable.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like it created this like whole atmosphere.
It really did.
Yeah.
It really did. So what did Gotti do after that? Because that was a massive, massive global hit. Did he like try to copy that success?
You'd think so, right?
Yeah.
But actually, no, he didn't. The script says he went back to like his more experimental music. He was doing collaborations and focusing on his band, The Basics. It's almost like he was saying, okay, that was fun, but now I'm going back to, my roots, what I really love.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Takes a certain kind of artist to walk away from the mainstream spotlight.
Yeah.
Especially after, a taste of that kind of success.
It does, doesn't it? It makes you think he's more driven by like creative exploration than, chasing the charts or whatever.
Which is awesome. He achieved this massive, massive hit, but it didn't define his entire career. All right, you ready for some surprises? Because the script hints at some pretty wild career changes, like one-hit wonders who took their fame and then just did something totally unexpected.
Oh, I love a good "Where Are They Now" story.
Oh, this is a good one. Okay, prepare yourself. Vanilla Ice.
Vanilla Ice.
Ice, baby. Vanilla Ice.
Yeah, of course. What happened?
Well, get this. He's a real estate mogul now.
A what?
A real estate mogul, and he hosts a home renovation show called the Vanilla Ice Project.
Wait, so from rapping about stopping, collaborating, and listening to fixing up houses.
I know, right? Talk about a career change.
Wow, that's a serious plot twist. I wonder if it was a calculated move, to stay relevant, or did he just genuinely discover a passion for home renovation?
I don't know. Who knows? Maybe it's both.
I guess it could be.
It's either brilliant or, a genuine interest. Okay, you ready for another one?
Hit me with it.
This one takes us back to the 90s, right?
Yeah.
Said Fred, I'm too sexy.
Oh my gosh, yes. That song is just like pure fun. It's so over the top and it just captures that whole like early 90s vibe perfectly.
And they're still performing.
Are they really?
Yeah, they found this niche, playing for audiences who want to relive those 90s days, I guess.
It's like a nostalgia trip.
Yeah, total nostalgia trip. It really shows you that some songs, they just have this staying power, even if the artist doesn't become this, huge star.
It's true. It makes you think about like what makes certain songs stick with us for so long, Is it the melody, the lyrics, I don't know, the cultural associations? It's probably a bit of everything.
Probably a bit of everything, yeah. But some songs, they just become part of our collective memory, even if the artist kind of fades from the spotlight.
It's like they've given us this gift, this little piece of musical history that we can just keep coming back to.
That we can revisit whenever we need a little mood boost. I don't know about you, but this whole deep dive has really made me maybe think differently about one-hit wonders.
Me too. We tend to focus on the one-hit part, but their stories are so much richer and more complex than that.
They really are.
Yeah, and they've taught us about resilience and how to adapt and, how to define success in your own way.
Absolutely. And they've given us some pretty amazing music along the way.
Yeah, for sure.
Speaking of which, I am totally mentally queuing up some of these songs right now. But before I get lost in a 90s dance party, what are some key takeaways here? What's the big picture, when it comes to one-hit wonders?
Well, I think
for me, one of the biggest things I've realized is that one-hit wonder, it doesn't have to be like a bad thing,
Oh, totally. I mean, it's still an amazing achievement. Like
Yeah.
these artists, they created something that most musicians, they only dream of, a song that connected with millions of people.
Exactly. And as we've seen, it doesn't always mean that their careers just ended right there, right? I
Right.
mean, many of them have gone on to do some really incredible things, both in music and outside of it.
Yeah,
So like that one hit, it opened up all these doors,
Yeah.
gave them this platform to try different things, different passions, and define what success means to them.
Yeah, I love that.
Whether it's, making more music or doing something completely different like Vanilla Ice and his home renovations,
Right. Who knew?
they've shown us that there's no one right way to do things.
And it makes us think about like what success really means, not just for musicians, but for everyone.
That's true.
Is it fame? Is it fortune? Or is it more about, feeling fulfilled and doing what you love and making a difference in whatever way you can?
Man, that's a really powerful message and something I think we can all take away from this, no matter what we do.
For sure.
These artists, they've shown us that it's okay to embrace those unexpected turns in life, to evolve and to adapt and to just never stop exploring.
I love that. I have to say, this deep dive has definitely given me a whole new appreciation for the stories behind the music.
Me too.
It's a good reminder that there's always more to discover, even with, things we think we know, like pop culture.
Yeah, and it makes you wonder what other hidden gems are out there just waiting for us to find them,
Now I'm sure there's tons.
Maybe this will, inspire some of our listeners to go and do some digging of their own.
I hope so.
Revisit those old hits with fresh ears and really think about the artists who created them.
Yeah, go on a little musical adventure.
Exactly. And who knows, maybe they'll find their own musical treasures along the way.
It's always a possibility.
That's the beauty of music, right? You never know what you're going to find.
It's a journey.
All right, music lovers, that brings us to the end of our deep dive into the world of one-hit wonders.
Sad to see it end.
I know, but it was a good one. We hope you enjoyed, taking this trip down memory lane with us, and maybe, you even learned a thing or two along the way.
Yeah, we all learned something today, I think.
And remember there's a story behind every song.
Oh, yeah, always.
And sometimes the most surprising stories come from the most unexpected places.
That's so true.
So keep listening, keep exploring. Until next time, happy listening, everybody.
Keep those playlists going.